Hello everyone, and welcome to Ghosts, Gears, and Gasoline. I'm your host, The Ghost. This is a new series involving several challenges and random builds in the game Automation, as well as the tests for those builds in BeamNG Drive. The challenges will be different things including 2-liter engines, 50 horsepower engines, small tires, you get the idea. In any case, today's challenge is going to be a 50 horsepower challenge, which means whatever engine I choose can only produce 50 horsepower at its peak power output. The torque that the engine produces doesn't really matter, but the most power that this engine has to produce is 50 horsepower. Which, to be honest, doesn't sound like much. But that's the point of the challenge. What we're putting this engine in, well, we'll see. Let's get started. Okay, so now we're looking for something that would be suitable for this engine. Don't want anything ridiculously large like that. But I don't want something entirely small like that could definitely utilize the engine wonderfully. Let's see. Actually, I saw, yes, what looks to be almost like a Jeep. We're going to select this Jeep. So now we're going to have to select the materials and suspension and everything for this vehicle. Now, as you can see, it's 1985 that we're going to be using materials and stuff out of, so technology is going to be limited, of course. But that shouldn't harm our process. Now, we've got our chassis set up. It's a corrosion-resistant steel chassis, a monocoque chassis, with solid axle leaf in back, coil solid axle leaf. Solid axle leaf in back, solid axle coil in front, with a front longitudinal engine placement. Now, onto the engine. So for this, I'm thinking, let's go for an i3. Inline 3-cylinder. Made out of cast iron. Let's make it, 1.6 liter shouldn't be that bad. Take it. Screw it. Let's go for a 1.5 liter. Yeah, daring. Push rods, don't really care. Cast iron. Forged steel, of course. Adjusting cam profile, compression, don't really need that. Nothing really needs to be that important here. Aspiration, of course, not going to turbocharge. That's actually counterproductive to this challenge. Of course, gotta go with a carburetor, 2-barrel, probably the best bet for this. Standard intake, low quality fuel, why not? This here, that there, cast log exhaust. There's your 2-barrel carburetor. This thing's coming along nice. Catalytic converter. Could always restrict. No. Muffler. A straight through here wouldn't hurt. And second muffler. Nothing. Oh boy. Valve float and knocking. That's not good. Valve float. The valve float just means that it's revving so high, valves ain't doing nothing. Knocking. Compression's so high, it's pretty much destroying the engine. So, lower that. 5,000 RPM, 5,400 should be fine. Now the knocking, let's see if we can fix that. A little bit of fuel mixture change. And adjust the firing time. Oh, that's close. We're getting close. Oh, let's see. Nope, can't do that. How do we adjust that? Exhaust maybe? Nope. That's 40 horsepower. It's not quite good enough. Let's go for 4-barrel intake. That's close, but no cigar. 50 horsepower, perfect. Bump that up to 5600 RPM. Now, we've got the engine up to 50 horsepower. The torque, as I mentioned, doesn't really matter. So, we're not really worried about the torque as much as the power. So, let's see how this thing sounds. Sounds about like I expected. Anyway, on to the next part. Feeling a 4-door might work. So, we'll jump to once I get this all painted up, and I will be back. Okay, so now we're done with the paint. I decided to choose this nice blue color simply because it's going to be very, very visible. And it looks nice. I like it. So, let's see. Now we need to put all the stuff on it. Headlights, grille, taillights, everything. I would skip the entire design process, but for purposes, I want to go ahead and try this one quick thing before jumping ahead. And yes, the game is lagging because it can't quite process this. I don't know why, but yeah. Anyway, let's give this thing a slightly mean expression just because it's angry, doesn't have more power. Why don't I have more power? Alright, now the grill. The grill doesn't really affect airflow to the engine. It's just purely decorative. So, yeah. Let's see. Let's see what this looks like. Okay. Okay. That's unexpected. But it's welcome. I'm leaving that. I'm leaving that like that. Simply because, you know, it looks so great. Anyway, I'm gonna skip ahead to the next bit of this, just to save time. Alright? So, see you after the design process, maybe even later. And we're back. So I went a little farther than just the design process. So went ahead and put all the different tires and the suspension set up and everything on. It's not quite refined yet because, well, yeah, a lot of warnings. Low brake force, oversteer, all that. So we're going to fix that. So usually I'd go down in here and mess around with just different settings like the brakes. I have to take a look at this and make sure everything's set up right and all that. But just to save time, I might just skip to the next step, which is exporting. So yeah, let's jump to that. Okay, so the exporting portion of this. So vehicle's already done, it's ready to go, and all I have to do is hit the export button, which starts up the export process and sends it to BeamNG for me to use. So now this is in BeamNG. Oh, I forgot to name it. Oh well, no worries. We could just re-export this, the name. So now we've got a new name, the Hummingbird. Don't ask why, I just thought it'd be interesting. So now, let's re-export it, just to make sure. And we're done. So, now all we have to do is switch over to BeamNG Drive and begin our process there. I'll see you there. Welcome to BeamNG Drive. This game is simply a soft body physics engine. Not really a game, but close enough. There are some game elements to it, but it's mostly soft body physics. But that's for another time. For now, we're going to test the new Hummingbird. See how the 50 horsepower engine actually performs. And this is where I choose to do it. So once I get everything set up, I should return. Alright, now I've got everything set up and it's ready to go. So, man, this thing looks about as stupid as it did in Automation. But let's get her started. Oh, okay, alright. Sounds a bit angry. The lights work. Headlights. Yep. Everything works. Alright, so now, the actual test. Decided to do a 4-speed 4x4 so I could actually turn it off of all-wheel or 4-wheel drive or turn it on to 4-wheel drive, stuff like that. But regardless, let's get it tested. Oh, that's sounding a bit that's sounding a bit rough. She's barely making it. Taking it off of 4-wheel drive, putting all the power into the rear wheels. Look at that smile. So, learn that this thing doesn't really go that fast, but it does stop on a dime. Now, I wonder, what would happen if I were to do something like this? Do what, you may ask? Well, you'll see. You'll see. And slow-mo up until crash. Well, oh my. It held up pretty nice. But will it hold up to a jump? Let's go. Come on, little hummingbird. Come on, little hummingbird. And we're about to jump. Well, that was disappointing. Very, very disappointing. Well, at least the jump was disappointing. The landing, not so much. That was impressive. Still holds together. Still drives just as terrible as it did before it jumped. So, this thing, not too bad. The test actually went by rather well. So, that should do it, folks. This has been a 50 horsepower challenge in the Ghosts, Gears, and Gasoline series. Expect more to come later on. And remember, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to make sure you always know when another video posts. As well, please do leave a comment down below, and hopefully I can remember to actually look at them. In any case, this has been your host, The Ghost, signing off.